Action stations.
Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 US battleship, the not-so-mighty Montana. We're playing a match on the map Okinawa, and I'm actually playing a secondary build on the Montana. It gets you up to 11 kilometer secondary range. I don't think it's necessarily the best build, it's just that the captain that I had bound to Montana had the secondary build because apparently I had been using it on the Georgia and the Ohio. But I mean, overall it doesn't really matter that much because I think HE spam, it happens sometimes and you do suffer from it, but it's not quite as common as I think it used to be. At least the fire portions aren't, I think, as crazy. Oh, a broadside Plymouth! Why is she not in the smoke? Did she sail out of the smoke? What? Well, there goes 33k of your HP. What was that, Plymouth? That's not how you win games. By the way, I sailed. You'll notice I'm actually literally at a cap zone. I sailed straight for it because I think one way to play battleships is to push in early, then turn around and back off, because this makes your teammates actually push as well. Although it doesn't work quite as nicely sometimes. It depends a lot on the maps and the ships that are in the map. Right now this push is fine because I have two destroyers in front of me, so I'll have some idea what's going on, but other times you end up alone, in which case you probably shouldn't push in your giant battleship. So I called the Montana not so mighty earlier, and the reason is that I think Montana isn't all that good anymore. I don't really see a reason to pick Montana over Ohio at this point. Ohio just seems to have everything the Montana does, except, well, a few more things that just make her better. Okay, I'll agree. The Ohio is slightly slower than the Montana. But in basically every other aspect, the differences are, or the advantages that the Montana has, are so minor that the improvements the Ohio has with things like the secondaries and, well, the heals, etc., they're just better, I think. Oh, and don't forget the 457s instead of the 406s. So, Montana has 406 guns. She does have the highest battleship DPM, which is nice to have, but her accuracy isn't amazing. It's acceptable, but not amazing. And she doesn't overmatch 30mm of armor, which means that lots of cruisers, especially at tier 10, will be able to ricochet quite a few shells that the Montana fires. On top of that, these shells, well, basically the guns aren't special. They're good, they're just not special. Ohio's guns are special, for example. The armor scheme on the Montana is also pretty meh. The all or nothing scheme, with lots and lots of places that, well, just don't have much armor, are really susceptible these days. It's kind of funny, but the old armor scheme with random armor plate somewhere in World of Warships is probably the better armor scheme than all or nothing. Citadel protection is nice and all, but it's probably better if the shells just ricochet off of every single crevasse on your ship. In fact, I was thinking about this the other day. Probably in World of Warships land, the best armor scheme would be like a triple layered spaced armor. It doesn't have to be thick, they might only be like 50mm, but they should be like crumpled up and then, you know, layered together. Basically in a way where, regardless how you aim the shell, they will ricochet off of some layer. And I mean, that would probably be possible. Okay, so far the match, it's going alright. I think my side of the spawn on Okinawa is a bit of a problem. If you look at the ACAP, you'll see quite a lot of ships on my team sitting behind that one island, and I think that's the problem. The island is too safe. Also, I just got citadeled. That's actually surprising. Montana Citadel is, it's not really well protected in that the armor isn't like super thick or anything like that. But it sits on the waterline, which means that it's usually quite difficult to get citadel hits. Yet, that Yamato still succeeded. I suppose I'll have to turn in for her. Oh yeah, one other thing. Montana is sluggish. She literally has the worst rudder shift time out of all tier 10 battleships. Well, out of all battleships, I suppose. I mean, it's only slightly longer than Yamato's at 22.2 seconds, but still, it's way longer than Kremlin's, or Ohio's, or, well, insert any other battleship, because it is the longest one. Yeah, you do have the legendary upgrade, but at that point, the legendary upgrade takes the space of the concealment upgrade, which means that your 14-kilometer concealment suddenly turns into 15.4, which will make you one of the worst concealed battleships on the field. And even then, your rudder shift time is only barely equal to what other battleships at your tier get as well. So, all in all, it just feels like Montana doesn't have enough things going for her, I feel. I'm not sure if she needs a buff of some kind. I suspect she does, but I don't know what kind of buff. She does have an improved heal, not quite a super heal, but improved heal. I mean, look, I can heal 23,470 HP in a single heal. That's quite a lot. And in terms of like fire damage and whatnot, it's significant. It's just that, well, other ships have, I don't know if you can call them gimmicks, but advantages. Yamato can overmatch 32 millimeters of armor, which is extremely powerful against battleships. Although she obviously suffers her weaknesses because of it, she has great accuracy. Ohio has 457s, which allows you to overmatch 32 millimeters of armor. She has a faster cooling down heal, which means that when you're being focus fired, you're better off. Kremlin has amazing armor and the fast damage control party. Now, what else do we have? Republique is... well, Republique is one of those battleships that basically suffers from the same problem Montana has. The armor just isn't great enough, and the other stuff the ship has don't make up for it, I think. So, what else do we have? Grosse Kurfürst. Sure, lots of people complain about Grosse Kurfürst, but armor-wise though, GK is, I think, better than Montana, because she can go close and actually tank really well, because she has those random armor plates that Montana lacks. Which historically would have probably made Montana a better battleship, but in-game that's not the case. Montana used to have an advantage in anti-air, and granted she does still have good anti-air, it's just that, well, good anti-air doesn't mean much these days, sadly. Not that it meant a whole lot in the past, but I think it's worse these days. Okay, so, enough complaining about the Montana. The match so far, well, we still have the congregation at the A cap behind that island. It happens every time you spawn on the northern side on Okinawa. It's basically impossible not to get that. And therefore you have to put forces in to win the C cap, which we did. And now we basically fight over the B cap, but ships-wise, it's been kind of equal. The problem is we've lost 3 destroyers, the enemy has lost only 1. So they're gonna get the concealment advantage very soon. God, I wanna finish off that Yoshino. It just... I don't know, she just keeps doing things which make it really hard to actually finish her off. Oh, Montana's actually... never mind. I thought she was gonna push, but apparently not. At least she isn't... actually no, she's gonna be broadside soon. I'm turning and going back into the B cap. I think Petra's gonna die soon, because Montana is pushing, and while Petra is really survivable, I am not very confident of the ability of average players in Petropavlovsk to survive everything. Besides, the Petra is already low HP. Although maybe, I wanted to say maybe the Montana goes down before the Petra, but Petra has so little HP, there's no chance of that happening. Are you serious? Only one of those shells hit? Damn. Anyway, at least we're getting the cap though. So there's that. Oh! Montana's eating torpedoes. Not a few of them. Okay, well... I guess we're gonna start picking up off ships at long range. Because I only have 36k HP and I still have 2 heals left. Which means that I have plenty of capability to survive things like HE spam. But Battleship AP is probably not gonna be very survivable in the long term. But it's a 5 versus 7, so things aren't looking that great. On the bright side though, the advantage the enemy team has is in terms of destroyers. So they shouldn't be able to easily outfight us on the surface, but they are gonna probably outspot and torp us. Come on, can we please finish the stupid Yoshin off? Please? Please? Oh no, Holland got spotted. That's extremely bad. We can't lose the Holland because she's our only chance of spotting destroyers. Oh, come on! Seriously, we couldn't finish off that Yoshino and now she's healing. Oh god. That is very unfortunate. Oh, a Holland! Okay, hello. What are you doing there? Why are you spotted? Well, in that case, I guess I'm gonna keep turning away because there's no way there aren't torpedoes incoming. 6,700 damage to the Holland. Ouch. I suppose this is something the Montana can do that probably no other battleship would have done in this situation.
Torpedoes astern.
Oh, US battleships also have one other pretty cool advantage. Well, I suppose it's only a slight advantage these days, but their damage control party lasts for 20 seconds. And with now with emergency repair expert, I think, basically the tier 4 skill, it lasts even longer. We still haven't finished off that Yoshino. This is tragic. But I'll have to turn away from here soon though, because Holland will get Torp's next set, and she is most definitely gonna shoot them at the nearest battleship. And there's no way that Holland isn't going for the sea cap, which means that I would be the closest battleship. So we're just gonna sail away from here. One fire, so we're using a heal to put it on cooldown and stuff, because our damage control party is on cooldown route now, and we still have an extra heal after that. And the max HP we still have left isn't the greatest. By the way, I'd like to point out that I'm already at 3 million potential damage. So I suppose maybe tanking is actually working out well. Yeah, we need to leave here. This is not a good place. Oh, do I use a scout plane? Yeah, I guess we're gonna use a scout plane. It's gonna accelerate, but maybe she'll be sneaky and just stand still, so I fire one turret exactly on where she was before. One closer and one further away in case she does sneaky maneuvering things. Although maybe, considering the HP she has, maybe I should have just dumped them all. Oh, come on! We're gonna miss everything? Nice. Shooting this Yoshino has been a huge mistake. Seriously, huge mistake. Oh! A stationary Des Moines. Okay, we'll take it. Holland torpedoes should be coming soon, I think, because I've been spotted the entire time, and I am the only available target for them. I should expect them soon enough. Okay, so a destroyer is in sea cap. It probably is the Holland. Like the smoke screen and HE spam from the sea cap. So that means it's actually the Z-52. And torpedoes are coming. I have damage control party active anyway, so even if they hit, I suppose I would be probably alright with a single torpedo. Come on. Oh god, we're still gonna miss. Wait, we're going over? Oh, well, at least we hit one shell. Finally. Holland spotted? Oh, right, we have a cruiser still. Well done, Minotaur. Well done. Yes! Somebody... Wait, why is the Yoshino... Are you kidding me? Yoshino still got hit, but still survived? Jesus Christ, that Yoshino is insane. Well, the Z-52 has successfully chased me off of this. But that's alright. As long as I survive for longer, we're gonna be all okay. I trigger my heal in case some Aerroon shells come in and just kill me. It's better to just use it right now, even though it could have potentially been better in the long term. Okay, but things are looking good. 4 versus 2? Yeah, it's looking good. We have double the number. Okay, I guess it's 3 versus 2 now. Goodbye, Yoshino. Or sorry, goodbye, Yamato. Taught by the Yoshino. But we're still in the lead with our cap points. Although, I'm not sure if we're gonna win if we don't at least block one of the enemy caps. Which is why I'm heading towards the A cap. I mean, there's the Moskva there, but also there's the A cap. Because remember, we still have an enemy destroyer left, so it's possible that we might lose another ship or something along those lines. I was hoping to surprise the Moskva, but I suppose it wouldn't be too much of a surprise anyway, because she actually shot me earlier. Dang it, I missed. Oh, secondaries, nice. You know, the 11-kilometer secondaries on the Montana, they're not great, but the fact that close quarters combat gives me faster main battery reload when something is within my secondary range, that is actually pretty great though. Because it allows Montana's good damage output to be even gooder. Okay, that wasn't very good. Then again, Moskva can't do too much to me either, I think. Oh, the secondaries actually set a fire. Wow. Should I maybe switch to HE? Well, I suppose it doesn't matter because there's a giant rock between me and the Moskva now. Oh, we're gonna be able to fire soon? Oh no, she's actually turning behind the rock. I think even if I fire, they would miss. Oh, Minotaur actually got the Z-52. Okay, that's cool. Do I go around the island here though? Oh no, actually I think I can fire from here, right? Yeah, we can. Nice. Oh, and she ran aground, so rear turrets, and I think that's goodbye, right? Yep. Nice.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
You know what? I take back half of the things I said about the Montana earlier. She's actually pretty alright, okay? She's pretty alright. But I do still have some complaints, and I think Ohio is still probably the better choice. Still though, 161k damage, a nice dreadnought. 3 citadels, even a solo cap, a massive 20 secondary hits. 2588 base XP, pretty good. But 2545 on that Yamato definitely deserves a compliment, as do the Kremlin and the Holland. Minotaur, I'm not so sure about. Wait, what? That Yoshino also deserves a compliment. And so does the Z-52. I mean, look. They played well. 27k fire damage from 7 fires. And I don't have any of the fire reducing stuff, right? I don't have basic survivability, I don't have fire prevention. And still, we took fire damage that was equal to 1 heal. Well, slightly more than 1 heal. But 3.7 million potential. The red team really wanted me to sink. But they weren't able to do that. Still, 27k fire damage from all of that. Just slightly more than 1 heal worth. Maybe the secondary build actually makes sense on the Montana. Not for the secondaries, but the faster main battery reload. Okay, these are the captain skills that I used. Emergency Repair Specialist, Grease the Gears, Adrenaline Rush, Emergency Repair Expert, Concealment Expert, then close quarters combat, and long range secondary battery specialist. I do think basic survivability and fire prevention expert are the better build, but because I had Halsey bound to Montana, and that I'm using it on Ohio and Georgia, well obviously I'm not going to change the build. Then obviously I use the dispersion upgrade, concealment, damage control, secondary range, otherwise I would probably use range I think. Then damage control again, and main arms modification 1. So yeah, Montana's alright, but I think she has seen better days. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.